Today I will be showcasing my alliance knowledge through a discussion of a proposed strategic alliance between Fern Farms and Freedom Farms in New Zealand. I will firstly cover the importance of forming a partnership between these two companies through licensing agreements. I will then recommend an implementation plan along with a discussion of the associated upsides and downsides of this proposed strategic alliance. First off, just a little background of the two firms. Firstly, Fern Farms is New Zealand's largest meat company. They are made up of a cooperative of farmers throughout New Zealand who process, market and export premium quality lamb, beef and venison. They distribute these products through restaurants and supermarkets throughout New Zealand, and they are also able to export these products through international distribution channels through a freight partnership with Fonterra. The focus of Fern Farms is to ultimately create the best red meat with significant emphasis on providing the highest quality of meat. For Freedom Farms, they are a fast-moving consumer goods brand of what they refer to as high welfare farmed product. Freedom Farms, they source their products from a cohort of pig and chicken farms throughout New Zealand, and these farms all share a similar ethos which stems from the idea of free-range farming. They distribute free-range products throughout New Zealand through restaurants and supermarkets also, but they currently do not export any of their products despite growing demand, especially from Australia. Freedom Farms products are primarily the white meats, such as your pork, including ham and bacon, your chicken, turkey, and also they hold a range of free-range eggs, which are also one of their highest selling products. They are currently the #1 brand of high welfare pork in New Zealand. Now, the importance of the alliance is outlined as such. I feel that Freedom Farms is expanding, and the next logical step for them would be to look to export their products. This would then increase their customer base outside of the New Zealand market. Freedom Farms would be able to benefit from this alliance mainly through the Fern's distribution channels and their abilities thanks to the existing partnership with Fonterra. Fern's farm, although they have a relatively strong grasp of the red meat market both in New Zealand and abroad, I feel there's still room for them to improve, and an alliance with this Freedom Farms could potentially open up their customer base to include the white meat eaters such as the pork and chicken consumers. There is also a growing trend around free-range products, and I feel that Fern Farms could capitalise on this through Freedom Farms and tap into the strong following of conscious consumers that Freedom Farms has. Furthermore, through a partnership with Freedom Farms, I feel that Fern Farms stands to gain access to a completely new market, such as the vegetarians. Freedom Farms products include free-range eggs, of course, and Fern Farms would then have the ability to reach out to these vegetarians who have previously been thought of as non-customers. Moving on to the upsides and downsides of this strategic alliance. First of all, some of the positives to come from it. I believe that both companies, as they share common goals, values, ambitions, and certainly both have an immense pride regarding their high quality of products, I believe that this would definitely ease an alignment between the two companies and also help to forge very strong relationships between the two. Both companies would stand to gain an increase in their market share. For Freedom Farms, that would be extension out into foreign markets, and for Fern Farms, that would be being able to tap into these conscious consumers that Freedom Farms have, as well as potentially reaching out to vegetarians. I also feel that, on another note, that the overall benefit to consumers and the New Zealand government will be shown through this partnership too, as you are essentially looking to improve on one of New Zealand's primary industries, which is the meat export. Some of the downsides is with New Zealand pork, unfortunately it is not certified to export. However, Freedom Farms' other products, such as the free-range eggs, their turkey, their bacon, all of that is still able to be exported, so you can still overcome that barrier. Also for Freedom Farms, they do not own any of the farms, so instead they operate as the distributor for this cohort of farmers. This then means that Freedom Farms has less control over its suppliers. This in turn would mean that if a farmer is not comfortable with the partnership going ahead for whatever reason, perhaps they get the impression that there will be later on some form of takeover or merger, this will definitely cause some issues with supply. Now lastly, how I would go about forming the strategic alliance. I feel that any alliance between these two companies should have a very strong emphasis on creating a partnership. I feel that that this will be the most beneficial for both companies, as both entities will be able to remain separate yet still coordinate together, pool their resources, and achieve a common objective. That common objective is obviously to provide a greater range of high quality products sourced from these high welfare farms. I believe that through licensing agreements, they should be established, as this would be the best way of forging a partnership. This would then allow Silver Fern Farms to associate its brand with Freedom Farms and their products, and vice versa. This would emphasize to the customers the huge importance that both companies place on providing such high quality products sourced with high welfare farms. I also believe that through Freedom Farms and their strong following of loyal customers, I think that Silver Fern Farms should be very careful not to come across as though they are looking to take over or form some sort of merger or acquisition. I feel that this might scare off a lot of the consumers and the shareholders, and certainly the farmers, who may fear that the quality of the animals' lives and the products that they produce may be compromised, especially because recently Silver Fern Farms have been in talks with Shanghai Milling, who are an overseas investor looking to set up a joint venture 50-50 between Silver Fern Farm and Shanghai Milling. I feel that this would have a significant impact on any alliance formed between Freedom Farms and Silver Fern Farms. In order to overcome any barriers or issues that this may arise, I feel that both companies should speak directly to the farmers and get them involved in all of the discussions, as they are one of the primary shareholders, and they certainly play an integral part in this agreement that could be formed. Through talking to the farmers, both companies would then be able to evaluate the change readiness of the farmers and the shareholders, because often farmers can be regarded as quite stubborn and, I guess, resistant to change. So by first off reassuring farmers that the processes that they go through will not change, as well as the end product that they produce will not change, I think that would be massive when you're discussing these potential agreements. So in conclusion, I feel that this partnership between Freedom Farms and Silver Fern Farms would look to benefit both of the companies, as well as potentially growing the New Zealand economy. Of course, there are certain pros and cons associated with any strategic alliance. However, I feel that the similarities between the two companies' cultures and norms and values would therefore ease the alignment of this alliance.